Hi, friends. Okay, so I know I have been away for the longest time from YouTube, but I promise I'm going to make a whole video explaining where I've been, giving a life update. However, we're still very much on that weight loss journey, fitness journey, health journey. And in that regard, I just wanted to come here real quick and share this clip from an interview I just had with Diamond TV. This morning, I was on the breakfast show. We spoke all about intermittent fasting, my weight loss journey so far, and I hope you'll enjoy it.
Welcome back to the Diamond Breakfast. We now get into a conversation that's very close to my heart and one I enjoy talking about stuff like this, and it's got to do with intermittent fasting. My guest today, believe it or not, went on a 36-hour fast. Now, intermittent fasting is an eating pattern that cycles between periods of eating and fasting. Rather focusing on what foods to eat, it's more about when you eat them. There are various methods to intermittent fasting, but the common ones include a 16-18 hour method, which means fasting for 16 hours and eating during an 8-hour window. I'm not saying you eat for 8 hours. No. You eat during that 8-hour window. Now, you also have methods like a 5-2 method, which is eating normally for 5 days a week and consuming very, very small amounts of calories in the 2 days. You also have the 24-hour fast, which is a full day fast, of course, and the goal of intermittent fasting is often to promote weight loss, improve metabolic health, and potentially offer other health benefits, although experiences may vary. And this one does vary with our guest this morning, who is Mokosha Njenga. And also, just to bloat a little bit, she is managing editor also at the News Diggers. She's not here to talk about the news. We're here to talk about something different, and I'm excited for that. Happy that you're able to join us today.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me over.
No, excited to be talking about this. I mean, it's, I think people are getting into this trend, but I think many people also don't understand it. So I'm loving the fact that we're able to talk about it from more experience point of view than, speaking with the doctors and the health professionals. But 36 hours?
36. Oh my goodness.
How did you get to 36 hours?
Okay, so I started very small.
Right.
I always tell people that when it comes to fasting, it's like a muscle, right? You just can't go from the typical Zambian way of eating and the diet where we eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, some snacks, 16. You can't go from that to 36, like you quit. So you start small, and I started small. My motivation was I was so much bigger. I know I'm still big now, but I was like 25 kgs heavier than I am right now. 25 kgs heavier. Wow. My health was on a downward spiral. In fact, I had been diagnosed with hypertension, and I knew I just had to make a change. I wasn't feeling good about myself. Right. I lost my sense of style. I would just live in my maternity clothes. So I said, I need to do something about this. So that's how come I started with intermittent fasting first, because I didn't want to drastically change my diet. I had done like a keto diet in the past, but then with that one, you do it for a while, but then temptations are there. You see other people eating shima, you want to also dig in, and I would gain it back, and I would gain it back much more than what I had lost. So this time I said, let me try something different. Right. And that was a year ago now. So I started with...
Under a year, you did 25 kilos?
Yes.
That is massive. That is massive.
In under a year, I think it's been maybe 8 months, about 8 months, 25 kgs off. In fact, most of the weight, I lost it in a month. I lost like 10 kgs in 1 month. And during that time, I was pairing intermittent fasting with like a very low carb diet. So I gave up the nshima, the breads, liquid calories. I would just drink water. I would eat mostly fatty meats and vegetables, right?
Right.
So I started with 13 hours at first, because going a long time without eating was crazy for me. It's a lot. And I downloaded an app on my phone.
Okay.
And then I remember at first, like, I would be on my phone checking the timer, like, is it time to eat? Is it time to eat?
Yeah.
Until it's 13, and then I would have a meal and I would eat. But I was so consistent because I got tired of being obese. Like, I'm tired of being obese. I'm trying to achieve my goal weight finally. So because of that, I kept building. From 13, I went to what you had spoken about earlier, the 16-8 plan.
Okay.
And that's the one I had paired with the low-carb diet. I lost 10 kgs in a month.
Nice.
And then I continued, and sometimes from looking at the timer to, it was something I was doing so naturally.
You just hear the phone buzzing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's time.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll even forget to eat. So you find you're breaking your fast around 18 hours or 20 hours. Eventually, I was comfortably eating one meal a day sometimes. So then I got to a point where I think I got comfortable after losing about 15 kgs or so. I got a bit comfortable. So I started like ranging in a range, like where you, for example, I would be 95 kgs, and then I'll gain like 3 kgs. I bring it back to 95, and I was there for months. And I said, nope, I need
to do more.
I made a promise to myself. I am going for the body I want, and I won't give up. So that's how come the 36 came in. I did some research, and I listened to a lot of doctors online who teach about intermittent fasting and the benefits. So one of the methods they really recommend for when you're trying to get over a weight loss plateau is a 36-hour fast.
I need to do that.
Yeah, you should. You should try it.
I need to try it. I just don't know if I'll make the 36
You can make it. You can make it. Trust me. I must say.
It depends on the day. Because I think if it's on the weekend, it's definitely not going to happen.
I know, right? The weekend is not a good time to try something like that, because, I mean, you want to spend time with the family, maybe kids, you know.
Well, I was just thinking, some of us would like to have a little drink.
Oh yeah, kashokas. Yeah, so weekend you could try it on a work day where you're busy.
Right.
And even for me now, I go harder when I'm working. For example, right now I'm about 40 hours into a fast, and I'm okay. I have all this energy. Yeah, the longest I've gone is 3 days with no food, just water.
More coffee.
Die. Like, most people think if you don't eat, you're going to die.
Okay, so then tell me, to do 36 hours or to go to a fast of even that long, I think even just for us, some of us, the beginners, even just 12 hours, okay? We'll look at it from 12 hours going up. So how do you manage it? Are you just drinking water? What type of water are you drinking? Is it like cucumber infused, some little mint, chia seeds? Like, what is going on within
I just
that
drink
time
water,
box?
hey? I'm one person who doesn't like to overthink things, because when you overthink it too much, like, oh my God, what kind of water? Should I infuse it with what?
Right.
You quit. Because, I mean, you won't find cucumbers every day. So I just drink water. But they say, I bought sea salt because the doctors recommend there are times where maybe you're feeling some lightheadedness when you're still getting into the fast. So you just get some sea salt, and you can buy it in ShopRite. You put a teaspoon in a glass of water, you drink it, and it helps you because in that sea salt there are other minerals.
Right.
I think potassium and magnesium. So those are electrolytes, and they keep you going. They give you the energy. Otherwise, now it's rare that I need the electrolytes.
Right.
I just drink water. I just sip on my water.
Well done to you. I hope you don't mind me asking you this. 'Cause what is your ideal goal weight? And where did you start from, and what is your ideal goal weight?
So when I started, believe it or not, I was at 117 kgs. 117. I was at 117 kgs. Right now, I'm at 92 kgs.
Right.
And my initial goal weight is 88 kgs.
Okay.
I'm almost there. Just 4 more kgs to go. Why
need to have a
88?
party.
Yeah. Why 88? That
Uh-huh.
was my weight before I had my first baby. And that was my initial goal. And that's why I'm pushing harder, because I'm almost there. I can see it. But I want to go further than the 88. I want to be at least at a 75, because that would now be almost at what my ideal weight should be.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being fat.
Oh, girl. Tired of flopping all over
Yeah.
the city. I understand what you're saying, but when I read your article, you know, about this, you also mentioned that your husband is a great support system.
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
he's also joined. He
has joined. And sometimes he goes harder than I do.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, temptations will come. Like, sometimes I want to quit, I want to eat, but because he's doing it with me, he's been such a great sport.
Right.
And from the very beginning, he's been there with me. When I am doing a low-carb diet, he's doing it with me. When we start fasting, we're fasting together. And he loves it so much, because apart from the weight loss, it's also good because it gives you some high level of mental clarity.
Right.
Right now he's pushing school, and he says when he's fasting, he studies harder. Like this time in his life, he says he's been pushing. He's on top of his game at school, at work. His body, oh my goodness, like he looks great.
It's like, hey, you. New husband, who you?
Yeah,
Okay.
like he looks great. He
Yeah.
pushes his weights, like he's gaining muscle. He's lost, like when we started fasting, he had like a small belly. For him, he's not obese, by the way, but
Right.
his body has toned down, like he's so muscular.
I can see you're very excited about it. Mr. Njenga, I just want to say you're doing a good job. Madam here is very excited about that.
Yeah.
But tell me, also, you know, when you first get into something like this, what is like your... How do you get to prepare for it, just even mentally and just physically? Because like you mentioned, you know, sometimes with you know, the research you did, doctors would mention you could feel lightheaded, you know, you could feel a certain type of way. So how did you also just prepare yourself now to say, look, I'm doing this, so mentally and physically we need to do it?
You know, I love this question so much, because I feel like it's the foundation. When I was starting my weight loss journey, I think I was telling you off air, I was very depressed.
Right.
And when you're in such a state, it's very hard to go for something like fasting, which challenges you. Like, it is hard. So you need to first deal with those underlying issues. If you're an emotional eater, what's pushing you to emotionally eat? Like, is it that you're hungry or you're just sad? You know? So I had to do the work. Like, I remember I went to therapy before I started my journey, I lost mom, and the grief just...
Condolences.
Thank you. Like, the grief just... I was losing it. So I had to do a lot of work emotionally. And then when I was emotionally strong now, that's when I could embark on something like this. Because it takes a level of mental strength to go after your goals and to smash them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you have to do the work. You have to know that what I'm going into is hard. And the hunger will come. The cravings will come. For me, I tell people I'm a sugar junkie. I love my chocolate cake.
So you ban like non-eating chocolates
in the
cakes
house,
in the office.
in the office,
because we spend a lot of time.
Well, no, people eat. Like, for example, even yesterday, because I'm telling you, I'm like 40 hours into a fast, right? So we have a canteen at the office, and around 10 a.m., 11 a.m., when they're preparing lunch, the aromas will hit me in my office. Maybe they're buying some meat out there, and I know the nshima is always hot, the veggies. But I tell myself, look, I'm not eating, I'm fasting, I'm going after a goal. So it's discipline. Even at home, I remember last night, my kids were eating some sweet potato and meat, and I was feeding my son, and then he, you know, when kids are eating, he brushed some sweet potato my way, like in my mouth, and there was that, but I quickly just had to wipe it away, because I'm like, I don't want to awaken this.
I would have done it.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah.
So it's discipline.
Right.
You have to. For me, the discipline is now stretching into other areas of my life. I am becoming more organized. I'm becoming happier.
Wow.
It's great. The mental clarity.
I'm very, very happy for you. I think it's always great to see you know, once people come to overcome and just achieve what they want to achieve. It's always so beautiful, especially when you can hear the story, hear the journey. I love it. So thank you for sharing your journey with us. But so also, I just want to know, you know, during the fast, because again, when you break your fast, you know, there are all these also funny rules. There's certain things you can't eat, you can't what. How do you manage to stay away from, you know, like you said, you've got a sweet tooth, so you've broken your fast. It's time for you to have something to eat.
Yeah.
How do you just maintain that the portion also is well controlled? You know, because I know myself.
I know, and the doctors warn about this. They say one fasting mistake that people make is when it's time to eat, you want to eat as if you're dying tomorrow. No. However, there's this natural thing that happens when you're not eating, your stomach shrinks. Hey, so you find that when it's time to eat, wow, you had planned that, lelo ni zadia lelo, I'm going to pack, I'm going to bite, or you can't, because your stomach is now smaller. And that's how come right now I'm trying to do a 3-day water fast again. And after this, I think the last time we did a 3-day water fast, we ended up only eating 1 meal the day we broke it, right? Yeah. And yeah, okay. One thing about hunger.
What's a water fast? I don't know about that one.
A water fast? You don't eat, you just drink water.
You're just drinking water.
Just drinking water.
How many liters then of water do you go through in a
I
day?
don't even make a fast out of it, hey? I just drink when I feel like I need to drink water.
However, you're feeling peckish, is that
you drink some water. Yeah, you drink some water. Some people even go for dry fasting, where you're not taking any water, you're not even eating.
Swallowing saliva?
Yep.
No way.
Yeah, some people do that, but for me, I like to just drink water because, I mean, you need your hydration. Of course, with the no water, you can't go beyond 3 days. Yeah, before you need to have some water. But yeah, so I drink water. I don't measure anything. I think you asked about when it comes to refeeding. Most of the times when we break our fast, we like to break it with eggs, because in eggs you have so many nutrients and it's high protein. So we'll eat eggs, and then beef liver apparently is such a superfood. I know.
I'm not a fan of liver.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
But it's great. It's great. Yeah, apart from that, I eat anything. And the reason why I'm going a bit longer on my fasts now is I would like a bit of flexibility with my diet. I love the low-carb diet, but of course, cravings are there. So right now I'm trying to...
they've lifted the ban on potatoes. So
I know, right? And those are quite delicious, yeah. So I'm trying to be a bit flexible, where I can eat a bit of cake every so often. My husband is a disciplinarian. He knows if he gives me leeway, I'll be eating cake every time I'm eating. But then he keeps me in check, and at least he gives me some grace maybe every week. I'll have a small treat, but I don't go crazy. Yeah.
No, I absolutely love it. And there's one thing that's also stood out for me about your article is you mentioned, you know, doctors are always experimenting on us. So why not take this experience for yourself? What did that mean to you, just to say, look, I have to experiment on myself if I really want to achieve this?
You know, that for me, remember I told you at the beginning of this, I had been diagnosed with hypertension. Literally, I went into a doctor's office and my BP was so high, and that doctor wrote me a prescription. He wanted to put me on the BP medication. But I'm always that person who is inquisitive. I want to know whether there's another way, because I know in our society, a lot of people now have these things, hypertension, diabetes, and the myth...
they call them lifestyle
illnesses today, and the myth is that you cannot reverse the damage. What I'm finding out now in my journey is that people can absolutely reverse that. From those high readings of BP I used to get for the past year, I'm telling you, I've kept it at a steady normal. Of course, at one time it was disturbed by some contraceptions, but that's a story for another day. So that's where it stemmed from. I was just trying to find another way for myself. I didn't want to be reliant on medications. I wanted to bring my weight down. I just want to be I don't want to be hooked on medication.
Nah, I hear
So that's when I started experimenting, and I found fasting. It's so healing. It's a beautiful thing.
Right.
It's so healing. And apart from everything I've spoken about, even in terms of your management of the temper, I'm such a hothead. I was that person who even just road rage. I'll be like, I'll be shouting at my kids like I'm a hothead.
Yeah.
But with fasting, it really regulates that. I don't know. I just have this sense of peace now. I'm calm. People will be on the road shouting at each other. I'll just be watching and chilling out, and I'll be thinking, oh, you need to go for a 48-hour fast. You'll be okay. Yeah.
Oh man, I absolutely love this conversation, Mukosha. Thank you so much for just, pulling out a leaf of your personal life and just being able to share it. I did see that at the end of the article you did put out a few questions, and you also just put out your email for people to get in touch with you about this. Are you open for people to get in touch and just say, look, I need some advice?
People are free to come to me. I love talking about this, and the reason I do this is in my journey as well. It's not like I just stumbled upon this from nowhere. People were sharing their journeys, mostly not here in Zambia, because I think here most people want to keep what they're doing private, but people who shared their stories on YouTube, people who shared their stories on Instagram, like, it's so encouraging, and for that reason, that is why I'm putting it out there as well, because for me, sitting on that couch feeling not great about myself and seeing someone else doing it, it pushed me, and now it makes me feel so happy when someone gets in touch and they say, oh my God, I read your article and I tried this and I've lost so much. There's a lady who got in touch. She suffers from asthma. Ever since she started with a low-carb diet and exercise, she hasn't had an asthma attack.
Wow.
And that's the power in these lifestyle changes. So absolutely, people can get in touch. I'm so passionate about this. We could sit here talking about it all day.
I know.
Because
we
it's
really
changed
could.
my life, yeah.
We really could talk about it all day. But, just as we get to conclude, what recommendations maybe would you make for someone who wants to embark on this journey also? And somebody could be me. I'm just trying to... Let me see if I can do it too.
You can totally
I know,
do
like,
it.
our very own Vida Mwale here also loves to intermittent fast. Like,
and look at her body.
Swears by it.
Great.
And she looks amazing.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
Like, Vida, just taste it. And she's like, no, I'm waiting for 14 hours.
I love that. I love that. And her body speaks for it. Like, she's got such a great body.
Right.
Yeah. So
No,
it
really
works, and
does.
you can absolutely do it.
So what recommendations do you make?
Start small. Don't try and stress yourself that, oh, I've had this person went 3 days. No, start small. If maybe for now, because we all fast when we sleep, hey? So just extend it a little. You could start with 13. See it for a day. Maybe it's too easy, then move to 16. From there, naturally, you stretch it. Trust me, just listen to your body. Listen to your body. Don't even try and compete with anyone. Just listen to your own body and move at your own pace. And before you know it, you'll be here telling me, oh, I did a 7-day fast. Yeah.
But I'll start next week.
Yeah, and I'll be cheering you on.
I'll start next week because I'm not ready. Clearly, you need some preparation for this. But thank you once again for joining us this morning and just being able to speak into this. I'm wishing you the very best in your journey.
Thank you.
And I can't wait for us to come back. And talk about it once you get to
my goal.
It's gonna be good, but the actual goal is 75. Oh man. I wish you the very best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
It's been a pleasure.
I had a great time, and I'm wishing you the best too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to take a short